Well, hi friends, it's been a minute, hasn't it? I've just had some weirdness in my life the last few weeks. Still been really struggling with recovering from my foot surgery. In fact, this is the first time I'm out on a walk. I found out I can wear my runners and they aren't hurting. So I thought, let's go take a walk and we'll just talk, because oh my gosh, it's just been, it's been difficult. I don't want to be complaining and all of that, but the reality is, had the surgery is hard to get over, harder than I thought. And then I just kept having a string of things happen, which resulted eventually in my fibromyalgia flaring up and some depression. I don't normally get so depressed with it, but I just think it had been going on, and you just start to feel like, man, is this ever going to be over? And I would just have like a wave of depression hit me. I had a few days where I went out and I did some shopping and went to some movies, and I would start to feel better, and all of a sudden it would just hit me, this depressed feeling. And it's during those times that I'm like, why can't I get a YouTube video? I had nothing to say. I had nothing to say to myself, less than anybody else. And then I would think, oh, maybe it would be good if I shared that with other people, because I know other people are struggling. But then I don't want to be a downer. And I think, well, you need to be doing something, have some action in your videos. And I didn't have any action. My action was, when it was a good day, I'd get dressed and I'd sit in my chair and I would read to my word search, watch some TV. On a bad day, it was like that, only I didn't get dressed. I was wearing my nightgown. So yeah, this last time I did some laundry, it was almost all full of nightgowns, which is really unusual for me. So here I am walking around the neighborhood. This is kind of big. I didn't tell my husband I just got up. I'd prayed when I went to bed last night, oh, please help me. I've got to do something else. I can hardly stand to keep going like this. And the thought just is like, first thing before you do anything else, go for a walk around your neighborhood. I'm like, oh, I didn't know what to do about the foot, because I still have a pretty big scab. Well, it's not huge, but it's deep on the top of my foot. And until that thing comes out, shoes are kind of hard. I wear slippers a lot. But it just popped into my mind to put my runners on, and they don't hit my foot to the same place. So here I am. Here I am, taking a walk. So you never know. Anyway, you can see the sun's just come out over the mountains. So sometimes you see behind my head the mountains over there. We live off a kind of busy street. And I've got the mics here, so I'm hoping that will help cut down the problems with the sound. Let me see. Let me tell you what else I've done. Well, I've done some shopping. You know how it is. I bought myself some new dresses to wear for sure for church. Haven't tried them on yet. They came yesterday. It's just Amazon stuff. I went to Barnes & Noble a couple of times, and I just walked around and sat there and looked at books. That's where I bought the word search, because I'm trying to do puzzles for my brains. Oh, here's my big thing I'm going to tell you guys about. A while ago, I did a video where I was ranting. I was upset about this doctor's appointment I'd had with this gastrologist, how rude he was, and yeah, it was just like a whole thing. And I asked if you'd ever experienced anything like that. Well, so now our local big chains of doctors, not individual doctors, but like if they belong to a big group, they have apps. And so then they're actually records, but they've said about you get in those apps. And I don't even know why I was thinking about it, but all of a sudden I decided to look at what that guy had said. Oh my gosh, it's horrible. It's horrible. I was right, that guy is so rude. And keep in mind, when he was talking, I was really fighting with myself not to get mad. Because you know, you get mad at a doctor, what good is that going to do you? They just... Anyway, so I was sitting there and I was holding my face still because I was trying not to get mad at him. And I was also, I did something I've never done in a doctor's office. I asked him to repeat something a few times, but it wasn't that I wasn't understanding him, it's just that I thought maybe he can get it figured out a little bit better about what he thinks I should do, because he kept, oh, you do this, you do this, you make up your mind, you make up your mind. Anyway, so I was really trying to be in control of myself, and I actually felt really proud of myself how I handled that when I came out of there, because I didn't cry, I didn't get upset at him, I mean, I didn't yell at him, didn't lose my temper. But what he wrote about me, so I flaccid, no expression. I have cognitive impairments that didn't allow me to understand what he was talking about. He couldn't make up his mind, you know. And he talked about that a couple of times. He took the fact that I asked him to repeat something, and when I said, let me understand, and I repeated it back to him, it wasn't that I didn't understand him. I was just trying to get him to clarify a little bit better, because I've never had a doctor act that way. Anyway, he took that as me having cognitive impairment. Now, to be fair, I do have some cognitive injuries as a result of COVID. But they're not even the kind that anybody else would notice. I notice them because I know how I am, how I was. But I don't have any trouble understanding things. I just will get foggy, brain foggy, which you can get when you have fibromyalgia. But it doesn't affect my intelligence. Anyway, I was so mad. I couldn't even let myself read the whole thing. I got the drift. I was just so mad. And I had already decided there's no way on earth I'm ever going to go back and see that guy. No possible way that I'm going to go see that guy. What it made me feel like is I don't want to see any doctors anymore. I'm just tired of the whole thing. Oh, another thing that happened, and this really kind of threw me off. This is like, it was responsible for a week of me being missing. So my doctor decided, after like 16, 18 years, a long time of me taking this particular formulation of bioidentical hormones, that he didn't feel good about giving me so much estrogen, and he wanted estrogen. He wanted to cut it down, which really upset me because it had taken over a decade to get to something that worked. And he'd been prescribing this for me forever. So I finally agreed, okay, well, we'll test just this little thing. Oh man, now that wasn't good. I got sick, and that was the beginning of the depressed feelings. So I'm like, I didn't realize, I'd forgotten how much the estrogen has to do with my mental health. So I immediately filled my old prescription, got back on it, and made an appointment with him, and just explained, I have to have it. I can't, life is hard enough, and I have enough challenges with the fibromyalgia and everything that goes on with my family. I have enough. I don't want to voluntarily struggle with my mental health when all it is my hormone level. So he says, okay. So he gave up with that. So then it has taken me, I finally feeling normal that way. It took me a good week and a half to get back to normal. So I was on this lower dosage for a week, and I could tell almost immediately, but by the end of the week it was really bad. So we got it filled, and now it's taken, it's probably a week and a half before I felt normal. And it's so funny because they have just come out, recently saying, hey, women had really had to suffer for no reason, with doctors telling them that it wasn't safe for them to get hormone replacement. And that was based on a flawed research study in the 60s or something. And then they came back and said, no, we actually have studied it. Women need to have it, and it's good for their health, good for their heart, good for their brain. It's more risky not to have it. So that's why it seemed like so weird. All of a sudden, after all that time, he decided I needed to try it, but I tried it. That's over. I don't have to do that anymore. So do you take hormone replacement? I don't. When I was first on hormone replacement years ago, I had my hysterectomy in '93. I was young. But at first they tried, pharmaceuticals, and they didn't really work so well for me. It was when I got on bioidenticals that things improved. And so, gosh, I was trying to remember how long it's been. It's probably been 2010 or something that I've been on that, and it worked for me. I was in such bad shape, and I started taking the bioidentical, and it's 2 or 3 days later, I'm like, whoa, I feel great. Because when my hormones are off, I have heart palpitations and all kinds of things, as in actual, where cardiologists would put me on beta blockers, but I didn't need the beta blockers. I just needed my hormones fixed. So anyway, we've got foot surgery, the great hormone experiment, my fibro setting off. I knew that being inside was affecting me, so I got one of those lights that are supposed to help with seasonal depression, and I tried that a day or two, but it's not the same as going outside. And so I was praying. The Lord's like, you need to go take a walk first thing in the morning. I normally will get all dressed and everything, and he's like, go take a walk first thing in the morning, then you can get dressed, then you can do whatever you're gonna do and you're gonna feel better. So I placed an order from Amazon grocery, and some things that you get there are cheaper than from Walmart. Anyway, that's coming today, and I ordered a lot of fresh stuff because I know my family hasn't been keeping up with that, and I ordered a big piece of salmon. Salmon sounded good, so that'll be come today. And I'm gonna go in. I think I'll probably have to just throw all the fresh produce that's in there away, because you know I haven't personally cleaned the refrigerator in weeks. So what can you say? Anyway, this is life. I don't know how this feels to you. Part of my struggle when I've been feeling depressed has been like, I don't have anything remarkable. I'm not remarkable. I'm not beautiful. I have to take care of the same kinds of things all the time. How on earth can this be interesting to anybody? You know, and you do ask yourself, why am I doing this? Why am I making videos? Is this just like I'm showing off type of thing? Why am I doing this? You know, what is my motivation? And it's not about me getting attention at all. The only reasons I can come up with making videos, why it's a good thing, could be a good thing, is because I think that some of you're out there and maybe you face similar situations or you relate to my situations. And it's nice to see someone who's our age out here just talking and doing things, because, oh, I've watched so much YouTube in the last few weeks, and we are an underrepresented group on YouTube. I would say that. We are an unrepresented group. So there's that, and then I just enjoy meeting people myself. But there's nothing in my house that's remarkable, you know, for me to do things, for you to watch. You know, anyway, those are my thoughts. How have you guys been doing? I hope you've been okay. And yeah, I'll see you again. I don't know, maybe we'll do more of these walk and talks. Bye.